I guess I should also mention I'm moving to Montana. So I got a job offer for the Bureau of Land Management up in Montana, which meant that I needed to have some sort of place to live and some sort of way to actually get up there. Hence the van, RV, whatever, which will serve and is serving the purpose of both getting me up there and acting as a place for me to live. That means over the last couple of days, I think today is Sunday, I started my journey on Thursday, I think. I have driven close to 1,500 miles from Oklahoma all the way up to where I am now, which is somewhere in the middle of Montana. Where I'm headed to is Great Falls. It's another couple hundred miles away. And then from there, another 20 miles northwest or northeast to get to Fort Minton, where I'll be working at Upper Missouri River Breaks National Monument. I started my journey down in Shawnee, Oklahoma. From there, I drove north, all the way across Kansas, up into Nebraska, before making my way to about this point in that state. That ended up equaling right around 490 miles of travel in that first day. From there, I kept on going west, all the way across the great state of Nebraska until I reached Wyoming. My goal here was to completely bypass Denver. That was not a place I wanted to drive my RV from. Kept on traveling through Cheyenne and all the way until I hit this point in my journey, where I then started going north into Jackson, Wyoming. I ended up spending the night just outside of Grand Teton National Park. I had driven close to 700 miles that day, bringing my grand total for 2 days of driving at just under 1,200 miles. From here, my goal was pretty simple. I wanted to get into Yellowstone. The southern gate was closed, so I was going to have to drive over this particular part, US 22, out of Jackson, also known as Teton Pass. In my little 1982 GMC Vandura, that was going to be a challenge, but I made it. And after another 100 to 150 miles, I had made it into West Yellowstone. I wasn't sure exactly how much time I would spend in Yellowstone, and I knew I still had another 500 or so miles left to go before I reached my final destination. I ended up actually skipping out on a lot of Yellowstone in this area because the roads were so bad, and kept on traveling north until I ended up in Glacier National Park. Alright, since I wasn't able to spend as much time in Yellowstone as I wanted, and since I'm up here anyways, I decided that I'm just going to go and try and hit Glacier National Park before I actually start my job. So I've got about a week left to kill, and that's a good thing because I'm going up the hill right now and barely going 45 miles an hour. But I just left Helena, now I'm headed towards Great Falls, but instead of taking the northeast route that would take me up to Fort Minton, where I'm going to be stationed at with the Bureau of Land Management, I'm going northwest from there instead towards Twin Medicine, something like that is what it's called, which is supposed to be where the east entrance to Glacier is. I don't think I've seen another car going either direction for about 15 minutes, and there's another 27 miles before my next turn. It's just a whole lot of nothing. I don't I think I'm going the right direction. My GPS says I'm going the right direction. Well, I finally made it to Glacier National Park. As I kind of expected, almost everything is currently closed for the winter. There's a couple of deer right around here. It's a Lake McDonald Lodge. Everything is closed, but you can still kind of walk around a little bit. So I'm just trying to be careful not to disturb them too much. I just wanted to get down to the actual lakefront. But it's beautiful here. So far, this trip has not been a disappointment at all, even though Glacier is like 200 miles out of the way from where I was going. Ultimately, that kind of decision was made because I don't know when I get another chance with the job. It's over the summer and I'm going to be pretty busy pretty much all the time, and I have no idea when I'm going to get days off to actually go and do any exploring or anything. So I wanted to make sure that I took the opportunity, now that I have it, to come all the way up here. And I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. So behind me is what I'm assuming is the main part of the lodge. Like just about everything else, it's closed. Even the visitor center is closed right now, which is kind of a bummer because I'm not able to get my national parks passport canceled or stamped or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very, very quiet. I imagine it's not nearly as quiet during the summer when it's actually busy. And also I really want to fly my drone, but the National Park Service has actually made a rule that explicitly bans flying drones, which personally is a little bit of a bummer, but at the same time I really understand it. These parks are amazing and meant to be enjoyed and supposed to be a way that a lot of people have to connect with nature, and if you've got a lot of drones buzzing around, then that's just going to ruin the experience for a lot of people. This place would be amazing to stay at when it's open. I bet reservations are probably booked for like the next 2 or 3 years right now, and it's way outside any sort of price range that I could afford for a long time. But that's okay, because I have the Falcon, which means I can get better views for free. Gotta love that van life. Alright, this is going to be like the third or fourth time that I filmed this part, because the first time I was standing out in the sun, where, as you saw before, it made me look like I was a f***ing ghost. The second time, I'd forgotten I had zoomed in, so I was about here to the camera, and you know, that doesn't really work that well. So, third time's the charm. It's Tuesday. I don't really have a plan. I don't start work until this following Monday, so I've got about a week to kind of knock around and do whatever. I'll probably end up heading down to Fort Benton on Friday or Saturday. I mean, I just don't know for certain right now. But I think I'm kind of just going to spend the day knocking around Glacier a little bit. I'm hesitant to actually get into the Falcon and drive anywhere because I don't want to give up my camping spot. But it should be a pretty chill and relaxed day. At least that's what the hope is.